Welcome into the live stream here for McCready and Siskey, powered by Rain Total Body Fuel. I'm Neal. That's Tyler. How are
What
you,
it
sir?
is, sir.
How are you?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
I'm good. Good here on this Thursday. Hope everybody's having a great nearing the end of your week. Thursday afternoon. We'll be with you for a little while. Talk about
Be the end of January, dog. This is like the get to see the "This is February" tweet on Saturday.
I know I've gotten bad about those.
I reminded you.
Okay.
This is February.
I'll try to remember to do it.
And guess what's after that?
March.
That's where it all started.
That's when everybody gets going with this is March. Oh, it's March.
It's time. It's time.
Hard to believe, isn't it?
It's flying. It's flying. We've been busy. Slammed. So it's been.
Yeah, I bet Quick U has been busy.
It's a busy time of the year. Busy time of the year. Lots of stuff going on.
Who celebrates more, people like me or coaches on Monday?
Coaches. Probably coaches. They probably got you on that one.
Probably this kind of their month to like recalibrate, right?
Well, you do. You know, February gets here, it goes dead, and depending on your staff and how things have gone, you get a few days off after signing day. Some coaches have gotten to where they'll give them a little longer break. In the old days, like 5 years ago, you usually got Thursday, Friday off. Some schools will give you Thursday, Friday, Monday off. But you always had the Thursday and Friday after signing day off. Some schools, I remember when Cutcliffe was at Duke, like they would start spring practice Monday,
right after,
and get it over with, and then do their vacation stuff afterwards. But that was when you were like getting after it during spring, and you were trying to get players, if they got hurt, you could get them back before the start of the season.
Yes.
So that was the thought process behind that. But no, getting ready for spring ball, coaching the kids you got. Trying to figure out how many players you're coaching during the spring that aren't going to be in there in the fall.
Yeah.
And then all the craziness that's going on, figuring out how to manage all that. So,
got you.
Yeah, but they're ready.
All right.
They ready.
We'll get rolling here.
Let's do it.
Hope everybody, appreciate everybody being with us. We'll be with you for a little while. Talk about some stuff. Hang tight. Welcome into episode 256 of McCready and Siskey, powered by Rain Total Body Fuel. I'm Neal McCready. That is Tyler Siskey here in the Clark Ford Studios in Oxford, Mississippi. Hope you're having a wonderful week. It's Thursday afternoon. Going to talk some NCAA lawsuit stuff. Tyler wants to talk lawsuits. He loves lawsuits. Going to talk a little bit of
Love them.
A little bit of recruiting calendar stuff. I didn't know something today. I found out. It was gleeful. We're going to talk some college basketball as we get close to March.
This is March.
So close to March. And I got some life advice bring to you by Cole Walters. We're going to talk about Justin Tucker.
That was a late ad.
Yeah.
I like to think, I see Spider's in the chat. I'd like to thank Spider for this. I had no idea if this was going on. And I was doing the live, as I prepped for the show. He's like, oh, boy, Justin Tucker. And I was like, what? And then I was like, let me Google it. Because when Spider says something, he's not Spider's a real dude. So I looked at it. I was like, oh, shit. So we'll go over it. We'll have fun. Allegedly. Can I say allegedly now and it mean later, too? A lot of allegedly today. It'd be a great day to wear the allegedly shirt.
Oh, it would be. Yeah, just allegedly is your friend.
Allegedly is your friend.
Allegedly and the word said are your friends.
Okay. All right.
Always remember that.
Said.
If you are reporting about something that someone said, it is very important to continuously state that they said it.
They said it. I didn't say it.
They said it. You are reporting that they said it.
I'm reporting what somebody else said.
And in an ideal world, you have a recording of them saying it.
We do.
That would be good.
Yeah, we do. It's all over. It's all over.
We're brought to you by Rain Total Body Fuel, 300 milligrams, natural caffeine, BCAAs, electrolytes, zero sugar. It's got what you need to push the limits and achieve your goals. You can check them out on Instagram at Rain Body Fuel to learn more.
Scoops, I'm rocking with the Tropical. I think I'm on like a 3-day run of these bad boy, 3-show run here.
Yeah.
Of these things. Holy shit. This right here is where it's at. This is now my favorite Rain flavor. Is the Tropical, followed by the Red Dragon, followed by the Peach Nectarine. The mango is really good. They're all the storms are just on point. But dude, this one right here just takes the cake. Let's go Tropical. Shout out to our good friend Bob and all of our people at Monster and Rain. y'all hit a grand slam with a tropical because it is on point.
Absolutely.
Scoops.
Yes, sir.
It's hot now, and it's going to be bumping later. It's the Cooper Chevrolet Buick GMC Hyundai chat. It's the final week to get great discounts and finance offers like low 1.9% APR new 2025 Chevy Blazers, plus no payments for 90 days. Chevy owners can take an extra. If you are a Chevy owner, you can take an extra $1,000 off as well. Over 20 brand new Blazers right now on the lot at Cooper Chevrolet there in Anniston, in the great city, the greatest city in the country, Anniston, Alabama.
Anniston, Alabama.
There's some really cool people that grew up there. Give our friends at Cooper Chevrolet a call at area code.
It was Ruston.
256-236-4481. That's area code 256-236-4481. And you know what, Scoops? We're brought to you by our good friends. Good friend Brandon and all the people at PTG Outdoors. They are a Camus boats dealer. They have both fresh and saltwater boats. They sell and service Mercury outboards. They do custom marine electronic installations with Garmin, Humminbird, and Lowrance products. You can get all of your fishing needs and custom golf cart retrofits, where they replace all of the batteries with a single lithium battery. Located right there in Grenada, Mississippi, and more importantly, for whoever it is. You know, Valentine's Day is coming up.
Yeah, it is.
And, you know, ladies, you're always wondering, what do I get my husband for Valentine's Day? Well, there's going to be something on his list. But the second thing on his list would be like a jig or some shit, a Garmin watch. Go to ptgoutdoors.com. Go to ptgoutdoors.com and make your husband happy today. Get him something for his outdoor needs at ptgoutdoors.com.
That's the second thing on the list, huh?
Let's go. Scoops, we're also brought to you, which we're going to get down and down with our good friends. The official RV dealer of the McCready and Siskey podcast is County Line Campers, located right there on I-10 off exit 38, right there in Gulfport, Mississippi. They are the official RV dealer of McCready and Siskey.
Yep.
It's a new year. It's a new season. Check out their selection of new and used motorhomes, fifth wheels, and travel trailers right there at County Line Campers. You can save up to 48% on remaining new 2024 models, including new RVs. That's right, brand new RVs for $199 a month. Or do you need your camper serviced? Ask about our Happy Camper Club to receive discounts on all of your maintenance needs. Visit County Line Campers to see all of your deals, and for a limited time, receive a free backup camera with any RV purchase. They're open 7 days a week. That's right, every day of the week. When you think about camping, think about County Line Campers.
Let's go.
Let's ride.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Let's go.
All right, Scoops, let's get into this bad boy today. You know what? I know we're going to have to talk about it, and you're tired of talking about it. I'm tired of talking about it, but we're going to have some fun with it.
Okay.
And so in order for us to have fun with it.
Real quick, by the way, super chat from Austin.
Okay. I got to get back on my YouTube.
He says, hey, coach, I assume that refers to you.
Could be you. Could be a life coach.
Probably not. I'm not a good life coach. I was part of a section that got warned at a soccer game last night. So
we got to talk about that too. Go ahead.
I don't know that I don't know that I could be a life coach today. Hey, Neal, I'm a head coach. Since you and me are trying to get Neal into racing, I got to ask your feeling about it being race week. Do you like stadium racing?
I'm assuming he's talking about the Busch. I guess it's the Busch Clash now. I don't know what the hell it's called now. The preseason race. No. I'd rather them do it at Talladega. I mean, at Daytona like they used to do it. They used to do it's a preseason race where it's semi-all-star race based on last year and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Not all the drivers running it.
Okay.
And they've been racing at the Coliseum in Cali, the LA Coliseum.
Oh, okay.
And so it's a short track and all that. Like, obviously, it's a short track.
I've been to the Coliseum.
And so
not a big place.
Not a big place for a race car.
No.
No, I prefer I liked when they did it at Daytona because people would run and, real race. If you're a fan racing, this is why you will probably like Talladega is super speedway racing is for the casual fan.
Okay.
When you got 43 cars, now 38, but 43 cars driving 210 miles an hour an inch apart.
Yeah.
3 rows deep, bumping and banging, and then wrecks. The wreck is what's going to get you. It's what gets everybody. when you see cars wrecking at 200 miles an hour and you can feel the heat and get stung with a rubber on your face, you're in. You feel a part of the wreck. It's a rush. That's what gets everybody.
Okay.
Seen it happen many times. Many times.
Okay.
All right, Neal. So we got to talk about it, and we're going to have fun with it. So we're going to create a new segment when we have to talk about it this year. The new segment is,
okay,
as the sands through the hourglass, so are the lawsuits of the NCAA.
Okay. I was gonna say you're gonna have to you probably have a patent on Days of Our Lives.
They probably do. They probably have a trademark on that. Not trying to make any money off this, Days of Our Lives, allegedly, so don't sue me because it's just for fun. But it is a soap opera. It continues to be a soap opera. And just when you think there's nothing else that can happen.
Yes.
Oh, just hold my beer and watch this. All right, so the new information, new lawsuit that was filed this week, Wisconsin cornerback, another Wisconsin DB. Wisconsin DBs are just loving lawsuits right now.
Yep.
The second Wisconsin DB, Nazir, I'm going to kill his name. Nazir Forquarian. I can't even pronounce his name.
Nazir Forquarian.
All right. He is suing the NCAA.
Forquarian.
He saw what our good friend Diego Pavia did about getting the JUCO years thrown out. He's trying to get his D2 years thrown out. So he is suing the NCAA trying to get his 2 years that he played at Grand Valley State to not count towards his eligibility at Wisconsin.
Okay.
I have some initial thoughts here.
Oh, I do too. I just thought of something that I bet you have not thought of. So go ahead.
Well, mine's pretty simple. Is like the common sense part of me. The common sense part, right?
You just lost me.
I know. That's why this is why I'm telling you where I'm at. The common sense part of me says, ha ha ha, this will never happen. And then you go, when have the players ever lost? Do we know of a lawsuit that they've lost yet? Are the players like 269,000 and zero? Have they lost anything yet?
I mean,
seriously, have they? I don't even know.
If you tell me the Chiefs lose the Super Bowl, I'll say, oh, the players sued them.
I mean, have they lost anything yet, though? I'm genuinely curious. So,
no, they're on a 5-year heater.
Yeah, they're on like a run, dog. Like, dude, if they were in criteria, we need to get some of these players in Criteria Club. We would never lose. All right, but like, look,
dude, they hadn't lost in 5 years.
It's like
nothing.
It's preposterous. You're like, oh yeah, that'll never happen. They haven't lost yet. So, on one side, I'm like, yeah, this is stupid. This will never happen. And the other side's like, yeah, I bet it does. Where you think it's stupid and you look at what's the money line of this thing going, what's the money line of this thing, of this guy winning? It's like minus 47,000. You're like, what?
Players minus infinity.
They haven't lost.
Players minus infinity.
So, yeah, that's where we're at. So he had 2 years at Grand Valley State, and Wisconsin has offered him a roster spot. He's a good player. And again, here's where, just so everybody knows where I'm at personally, some of this causes chaos for my friends in the business.
How many years did he spend at Grand Valley?
2.
Okay.
So some of this causes chaos for my friends, in their jobs and things. And that part, I apologize that it causes chaos. Like I told you, I've turned the page, man. I'm for the most fucking chaos that can be created right now. If it sounds stupid, let's sue. Let's get the, because sooner or later, I am betting my hope, the speckle of hope that I have for this sport, that's way down deep. The speckle of hope that I have for this sport is hoping it gets so fucked up that they have the presidents all get together. Hey guys, we got to break this thing off. It's the only way forward.
Okay, here's a scenario for you. So, real one. All right. As you know, my son Carson plays high school soccer.
Yep.
He has a couple of community college offers.
Mm-hmm.
He's got 2 of his teammates at OHS that are going JUCO.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a former teammate that is finishing up his JUCO 2 years and is actually no. He's got a former teammate that he played with his first year when he was a freshman, who is he played 2 years at JUCO, and then he got a D2 offer.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's playing D2.
Mm-hmm.
So, as a rule, like the prime years for like soccer guys the good ones, like 22, 23, 24, into there, right? Well, what's stopping him from saying the 2 years at community college don't count?
No.
The season or two at D2 don't count. So when I'm 22, 23 years old, great shape, got lots of experience, probably better at that point, probably better at that point than a more skilled 18-year-old. You coach college football, right?
100%.
Okay. What's to stop him from that point going, all right, well, now I'm going to go to like D1. I'm going to go Indiana. I'm going to go to Memphis. I'm going to go to UAB and be a freshman and just play.
There's nothing.
Clock starts.
So for the fans,
and if they pass this, he'll have a 5-year clock. So he could go. I mean, I'm being serious.
Mm-hmm.
He could go 2 years. So I'm not using names or schools, but I'm literally thinking of a specific kid. Okay. So I'm going to assume he graduated from OHS at 18.
Okay.
Because most do. That he spent 2 years at community college. That gets him to 20.
And at least two could spend 3.
And so let's just say he spends 2 at D2.
Be 22 years old.
So be 22-year-old freshman.
Yeah.
Very athletic kid.
Yeah.
Great shape.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
He'll be strong, skilled. So wouldn't you if you're Indiana or a school that's like D1, wouldn't you rather have him come in? Gonna be mature. He's not.
Yeah, just depend. But yeah, like he would have more value than he normally would have as an 18-year-old. To answer your question,
because his
obviously depends on the kid.
Because his clock hasn't started.
It would obviously depend on the kid, right?
Yeah,
but like
sure.
He's going to have more if he's going to be more prepared, and his value will be more as a 22-year-old as it was an 18-year-old.
And I'll go further. No one's really checking the academics anymore, right? I mean,
we'll talk about it in a second.
No one's really checking the academics anymore. So,
I mean, yes, you're checking it because you have to be eligible, but like if you're playing Division II, you're going to be eligible because you have to be eligible to play in Division II.
Yeah, so my point is he could go to like UAB, Memphis, Louisville, Indiana, one of these D1 programs. And maybe by then there's more D1 programs because who knows what's going to happen with Title IX. But maybe he could go to one of these D1 programs in one of these cities and go get a job where he actually made some money, where he could go to practice. He could have somebody
have a degree, go work in your software company, and then go play soccer in the afternoon.
I mean, he could take some graduate classes at something that's a joke and log into some Zoom classes or whatever, or just take some online.
Get his doctorate while he's in college.
Well, not even that, just get some meaningless master's degree.
Yeah.
I mean, I got a master's degree at ULM that was worth exactly 0. So, I mean, you could go get one, and he could play.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Right, and so he would extend his soccer opportunity out to 24, 25. You'd have a bunch of 23, 24-year-olds playing D1 soccer. And then, maybe that led to a MLS opportunity.
So make sure the fans understand the current rule, what it's always been.
And then what happens there, to finish my thought, is that the 18-year-old, they're screwed.
Right.
Or you have to understand that if you want to play, even if you're probably
I wouldn't say all of them, but the vast majority of the developmental guys
are now going to have to go JUCO.
Are going to have to go JUCO or D2, just depending on.
Well, the D2 offers are hard to get. I mean,
it would obviously
and a lot of the D3s you got to go pay a lot of your own way.
Yeah, ain't no doubt. So for the fans, to make sure the fans know, the rule forever, okay? Postgraduate didn't count, right? So, like, if you went to a prep school, that did not count towards eligibility.
Right.
Okay, but once you went to junior college or another 4-year institution, once you enrolled in 12 hours, okay? Once you enrolled in 12 hours of classes, your clock started. And yet from that point on, you had 5 years to play for. That has been the rule for 1,000 years, okay?
I mean, I look back on that and I think how evil that was of you football people to do that to the kids.
That's how, and so now if the
shame.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Shame on you.
I mean, but here's the thing.
I don't know how you live with yourself.
If let's say this kid wins his suit, okay?
Okay.
Not let's say, probably going to win it. I mean, hell, they haven't lost one yet, right?
I'm betting on him.
Well, the next suit, it's just like we knew this was coming.
I got Nazir minus infinity.
Yeah, I think you said it when we talked about the Diego stuff. It's like, well, what's the I think you actually said the words on the show. What's the difference between that and a D2 kid or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So here's the part. Do you know what's next? If this when this wins, when this guy wins his case,
thank you.
Now it's going to be the guy that's it's going to be the Stetson Bennett's of the world. It's going to be whoever goes, hey, why can't you're limiting my financial ability. So now we're going to have, you can just play forever.
I know.
Like that's next after this one.
I know.
So we got this one, and then we're going to go to that one.
As long as you're a student.
As long as you're a student. So whoever the guy is that's making really good NIL, that's not going to be a great NFL player, you'll be the next one to file suit. You don't know who you are right now. You don't know who you are right now. But once our good friend Nazir wins his lawsuit, you're going to be the next one that goes to a lawyer and goes,
well, we're going to talk college basketball.
Like 7, 8, 9 years.
We're going to talk college basketball in a minute, right?
Yeah.
I mean, look, if you're a lottery pick or a first-round pick, you should go to the NBA. It's a lot of money. But what if you're one of these guys who is probably destined to go play in Turkey or something?
It's probably more. You'll probably have that problem in basketball actually more than you would football.
So if I'm Chris Beard, if I'm Bruce Pearl, if I'm Nate Oates, if I'm Rick Barnes, fill in your coach. Deep down, who do I really want? The mature 24-year-old kid?
Well, that's why Ole Miss is winning right now.
Right. Or do I want that 18-year-old who's, he's going to be really good. But right now, not only is he kind of raw, but he's emotionally a psychopath.
Yeah.
What do I want?
Yeah,
I want the older kid.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Because at 18, I'm going to inherit mama and dad and all the crazies. At 24, I'm probably not going to get a lot of that. I'd rather have the 24-year-old.
I no doubt. All right. And then also on this episode, today's episode of As Sands Through the Hourglass, So Are the Lawsuits of the NCAA. Tomorrow, Friday, Scoops, is the last day to file objections to the House versus the NCAA case.
Hold on. I need to send mine in.
You need to send yours in?
I mean, I've got an objection. My objection is just this is stupid.
So
this isn't going to work.
Most of the objections, they've been posting them on. AJ's in the chat. AJ says, I'm coming back to college to play baseball. How do I start the lawsuit? Holler at your boy. We got you.
Yeah, I got you, AJ.
We got you, dog. We know people.
At third base.
No, he'd be pitching.
Oh, yeah, see?
AJ's a pitcher. AJ got drafted as a pitcher.
I know.
So most issues with roster limits most of the objections that are public right now are filed on behalf of people losing roster spots in Olympic sports. That's most of the objection with the roster limits.
Yep.
Which that is most of them. The surprising part, and there are, I say the second place, which I'm surprised it's not more, but I know this is going to shock you. You ready to be shocked? You ready to be astonished with some of the objections right here? The second place of objections is people suing, saying, we didn't agree to this cap.
I'm sorry, say it again.
I know you're typing. The second objection is
I've been saying this for a long time.
Is we didn't agree to this cap.
It's like would you go to a job? If you go to a job, right? And they tell you, okay, well, let's talk salary. And the person says, no, we've already decided. Here's the salary.
Yeah. What are we doing?
You probably go, well, I didn't agree to that. Unless it's sufficient. At which point you're like, okay, great. Or if you posted the salary. The players haven't agreed to this. They never agreed to this cap.
No, they didn't. So
I mean, can you imagine if Major League Baseball, which has a labor agreement coming up at the end of the 2026 season, if Major League Baseball said, hey, all right, here's what we're doing. Here's the cap. Here are the luxury tax amounts. The end. Would you like for me to tell you what the players are going to do?
Strike.
They're going to strike.
Yeah.
Why? Because it wasn't collectively agreed to. Now, if they sit down
after they strike and they sit down,
if that
strike's coming, by the way.
But if they sit down, yes, it is. If they sit down at the table and they agree to those numbers, well, then when they're ratified, they show up for work. I mean,
I'll buy you dinner anywhere you want. I'll buy you dinner anywhere you want if the 2027 season starts on time.
I can't take that bet, but you know what? I'll take the bet for the hell of it. Okay.
I'll buy you dinner anywhere you want
if
the 2027 baseball season starts whenever you want to, whenever it's supposed to.
I think there's a less than 5% chance that game starts, that season starts on time.
All right. Recruiting. This topic is, I had a conversation with a long phone conversation today with a buddy of mine that's coaches at a Big Ten school. He is a position coach at a Big Ten school. And he was on the road recruiting. So recruiting is going on. For those that don't know, this is the part that made Scoops as happy as I'll get out. Tomorrow is the last day of contact period. nothing has really changed in the contact period stuff, except like they basically got rid of the bump rule, so you can bump into everybody. So you're still junior recruiting for the most part, but you can actually talk to them now instead of acting like you talk to them. I don't think I've ever told this on the show before. So one of the most frustrating rules in the history of recruiting was the bump rule, right?
Mm-hmm.
And everybody, you're done with your basically 99.9% of your class was done in December. And in January, when contact period came around, you used that to go start your new class, right? To go out, you would go to the schools where all the upcoming juniors were and all that stuff and get your face seen. And it's actually a lot more laid back because you're not going into homes and all that stuff. You're just going seeing kids at the school. But you could not talk to them. If you accidentally shook their hand or you couldn't avoid the contact, you could, hey, how you doing? Good to see you. And then that was supposed to be the end of it.
Right. You could
Newsflash.
You could bump.
Allegedly, that didn't happen a whole lot.
I think you're safe to drop the alleged here.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Well, I'm always going to say it. And so what would happen is you would go in, even when you were trying to avoid it. Okay. And so like if you're the coach at Ole Miss and you're flying to freaking Chicago, okay, to see a running back, allegedly, and I'm just checking on the guy. We're not even really serious about the guy. I just want to body type him. That was a lot of the work. I wanted to go see him in person, body type him, see how much weight he could hold, all that stuff. So I wanted to lay eyes on him to body type him. And so you would go there and like you'd see the guy and you'd be like, yeah, this guy can't play for us. Okay. Like I could look at him and be like, yeah, no, the coach, and you're in the middle of freaking nowhere. There's nobody else there. The coach be like, hey, come down to the office or whatever. And then he brings in little Johnny and shuts the door. And now you're in an uncomfortable position because you're like, look, Parker, if I'm going down, it ain't going to be because of this guy.
Right.
Like if I'm going down.
Yet at the same time, you want to be a human being.
You got to be nice.
Right.
And you're trying not to be disrespectful. And then you get caught in these bad positions. Well, anyway, long story short, the best thing that they ever did was now they made it to where you could talk to the juniors.
Right.
And so you can even do home visits.
I was going to say, I thought I'd seen some home pictures.
Yeah, you can even do some home visits. But that was, dude, you talking about just brutal.
So the head coach one home visit thing is out the window now?
No.
So if you go in now, you can't go in again?
But they don't have, remember, they didn't have contact period in December.
Okay.
So you can do it now, spring, things like that.
Gotcha.
And so you're strategic about how you do it. All right. So anyway, long story short is, I've been in a situation where we had a high school coach I think I've told this on this show a long time ago, but we had a coach try to turn us in. They tried to set us up. And the high school coach, his brother worked for another school in our league. Okay. And then his other brother worked for the NCAA. And so this is the high school coach. And we were out. It was me, the head coach, and a position coach. And we were out. I was driving. We landed the plane, got in the car, and we pulled up to the school, and we were going in to see the coach. Well, again, we kind of knew we wasn't getting the guy, but we needed to recruit him kind of deal. We knew it was a long shot to start with because the other team that his brother worked out was probably going to be in the lead to begin with. But we're not going to make it easy for them either, right?
Uh-huh.
It was more of one of those stops where we're recruiting this guy to make the other team spend some time and resources on that kid. One of those recruiting strategic things.
Strategery.
And so I pull up to the school. I'm driving. The head coach is in the passenger seat and the assistant's in the back. I pull up and I drop them off. I'm going to go park the car and then come back. So I drop them off. I pull around the back. I park the car. And as I'm walking up, dude, they're coming back out. I'm talking about a minute and a half, maybe.
Okay.
Minute and a half.
Uh-huh.
And the head coach looked at me and like, let's go. And I'm like, damn, what'd I miss? I mean, usually in there for 45 minutes, hour, sometimes longer, depending on where it's at. And we get in the car. He's like, they're setting us up. I say, what do you mean they're setting us up? He goes, he had a camera in there. He thought I couldn't see it.
Oh.
And the coach was bringing down the kids, and he had a camera running. And he was going to try to get us on a bump.
Oh.
And we left, okay? And so about 10 days went by. And sure enough, I'm not going to say not even going to bring it up. Not even going to say what school, league, nothing. I'll tell you later.
Not state?
I'll tell you later.
Okay.
I'm not going to any of that stuff.
Right.
And when about 10 days later happened and the compliance came in, and said, hey, y'all have been turned in for bumping. And they told the school, and I just started laughing. I said, fucking knew it. And bro, I was ready for it. So on the way out, when I was leaving, I saw these two kids walking down towards the gym. I freaking took a picture, and I said, here's the picture. Here's the timestamp. I showed exactly what happened. And where it never went anywhere, they threw they threw the complaint out or whatever, is because they had the wrong assistant coach. They named me, they named the head coach, and they had the wrong assistant coach.
Oh.
I said, nope, he was in North Carolina.
How about that?
Yeah. And then everybody's like, oh, does a coach ever cost his kids opportunities? You're damn right he did. Because let me tell you what happened. That was in January. Not one other school went by there, because I made sure to know that everybody that I knew what kind of piece of shit that high school coach was.
How about that?
And so they
can't do that as a high. You can't do that. That's wrong.
Yeah. So yeah, that happened.
How about that?
That happened. All right.
You know what that coach should have done?
What should he have done? Spicy.
After he realized what a bad person he was,
Spicy.
He should have said, you know what I need to do? I need to change the taste in my mouth.
Spicy.
And I would have said, well, have you had Wendy's nugs dipped in sauce? He would have said, no, why?
Spicy.
And I would have said, have you had them covered in sauce? Wendy's new saucy nugs. Take the crispy and spicy nugs you love and turn them up to 11. Choose between flavors like buffalo, honey barbecue, garlic parm, or if you're a real heat seeker, try spicy ghost pepper.
Spicy.
Only on Wendy's signature spicy nugs. I dare you. That's 7 delicious ways to try the nugs you already love. So pick a flavor, grab some extra napkins, and prepare to nug like you've never, ever, ever nugged before. For a whole new way to nug, it's got to be Wendy's at participating U.S. Wendy's. Hey, Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. The big game. The big game is almost here, and it's now or never. Don't miss out on the last football game of the season with Prize Picks. It's the best place to win cash while watching the big game. Prize Picks also giving away a free pick for the big game, where one of the starting quarterbacks will only need to throw 1 yard to win. If you're correct on at least one more stat projection, you can win real cash. So download the app today. Use the code MPW to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, download the app. Use the code MPW to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. So Prize Picks, run your game. And when you're celebrating your winnings from Prize Picks, do it with Parrish Brewing Company. You'll love all their products. Right there, made in Broussard, Louisiana. Their simple goal is to make awesome craft brewed beer. And sometimes when you keep it simple, you keep it excellent. And that's what they've done at Parrish Brewing Company. They got Dr. Juice. It's a highly crushable juice bomb. Dry hopped with a blend of their favorite hand-selected hops. Dr. Juice's drinkability is sneaky good, considering it clocks in at 6% ABV. They've got Ghost in the Machine.
Ghost Pepper.
They got Envy, not Ghost Pepper, just Ghost. Ghost in the Machine. They got Envy. They also have Cane Break and so much more. So wherever you go for your beer, if it's to a restaurant, if it's a bar, the grocery store, whatever the case may be, look for Parrish Brewing Company. And remember, I told you to. And you'll be happy. And you'll send me a note that goes, Neal, God, you're a genius.
Scoops, you know what else will make you a genius? If you went by County Line Campers.
That would do it.
Right off I-10, exit 38 in Gulfport, Mississippi. Are you looking for a brand new RV, Scoops? You can get a brand new one, for under $199 a month.
It's incredible.
At County Line Campers, the official RV dealer of the McCready and Siskey podcast. You can save up to 48% on remaining new 2024 models, including that $199 a month for the brand new ones. Do you need your camper service? Ask about our Happy Camper Club and receive discount on all your maintenance needs. Visit CountyLineCampers.com. That's right. Visit CountyLineCampers.com. They're open 7 days a week. That's right, 7 days a week. And you know what we need everybody in here to do? Go on social media. Go on Twitter. Go on TikTok. Go on YouTube. Go to County Line Campers. And make sure you give them a follow right there on social media. Check out their stuff. It'll take 30 seconds of your day. Give them a follow. check out a couple videos. And if you're into RVing, if you're looking for a camper, if you're looking for the one for the tailgate, do you need your RV service for tailgating?
Yes,
Go see
course.
our friends at County Line Campers.
Who doesn't?
Give our friend Rob a call. He just texted me a minute ago. Give our friend Rob a call. All right, Scoops, you know what else?
I don't.
I see AJ in the chat. I see Trav in the chat. Do you know what it's a good time for? It's a good time to spin the wheel.
Always a great time.
Go see our friends at Kia of Meridian. It's a new year. Make a resolution that you can keep. Drive away in a brand new Kia. Kia of Meridian is kicking off 2025 with unbeatable deals. Get interest rates as low as 0% on select models and up to $7,500 in rebates on select vehicles. The perfect time to drive a new Kia and save big. Come see us today at at Kia of Meridian. These deals won't last long, so start your year off right. Give our friend Trav a call at area code 601-483-6444. That's 601-483-6444. And remember, when you buy something from Trav and our good friends at Kia Meridian, you get to
spin the wheel.
There we go.
There you go. And then buy a vowel. No, it's not it.
Love it. All right. So last thing we talked about in recruiting today, and then we're going to move on to college basketball. I want to say this. The more things change, the more they stay the same. You know, a lot of the problems happening right now in misses in evaluation is the process, and it's both sides. And we talked about this today. I asked the coach. I said, Coach X, this problem has been around, and you've heard me talk about this problem here before on the show. This problem has been around, and it's not going away. It's been around as long as time. If the player, the actual recruit, you can kind of filter through the bullshit and figure out who's wanting money. If it's the parents, if it's the kid, if it's a street agent, who's asking for the money. If the actual player was involved in wanting money, like 5%, we kind of said, what do you think it is? We said between 3 and 7, so we kind of settled on 5. 5% of the time, that player ends up being what you think he was going to be. 95% of the time, that player is going to be less than what his production and what he's going to be as a player.
Thinking about the wrong thing at 18.
If you're motivated by money, if money is the only thing that motivates you, you're not going to make it when you get to college.
No,
you're not.
No.
When mommy and daddy go away and they drop you off and you go out there and it's time to put your big boy britches on and you got to show up on an inside drill and you got to go fill a gap, no amount of fucking money is going to save your ass. Okay? You got to be motivated by something more than money. Okay? If you're going to be productive.
Yeah.
And so we kind of figured out probably 5% of the players that actually, over the course of my history of my career and his career too, probably 5% of them, that were involved asking for money ended up being what they were worth or what they were asking for.
Right.
And so he goes, it's no different now, but it's coming on both sides now because now the recruiting process, the way it is, even coaches are going, okay, you evaluate the player, you like what you see on the film, but then the next question's out of your mouth, the coach's mouth is, let's talk about money, what's it going to take, or all this stuff. They're skipping the most important part of the recruiting process is getting to know the freaking kid and recruiting the kid and see what they're about. And that's where all these misses are coming. He got some kids, he said he took a study and last year of every single kid in the entire year that asked to be paid to come on the visit, he says not a fucking one of them panned out. Ofer. Because you got kids asking for money to come on. Ofer. When the kids are asking for it now, you got to weed through the bullshit. Okay? Like, not going to mention names, but back in my day when the black market days were running, there was a particular player that I really wanted really bad. We didn't get him. There was all kinds of rumors about money and all this stuff with that player. That player ended up being a baller. Playing in the NFL today. That kid never asked about money, not one time. Now, some people around him did. That kid did. He just wanted to play, man. Like, that's just how these kids are, man. And so, well, you're missing like the recruiting process is really, you got to keep the main thing. You got to be able to figure out who these kids are as people, what drives them, and you got to be able to do that. And so a lot of times what happens is when you're building a roster, some kids are a little bit more immature, and it's okay to take one, but you got to also know who's coaching the guy. Okay? Like, there are some players that may be a maturity risk, but if I know I have the position coach is really good at developing those kind of players can cultivate them and keep their thumb on them, you're more likely to take them than some guy that's not going to give them the time of the day. And if you got coaches that aren't into if you can't take a kid that's immature, financially immature too, and then coaches are just gonna be like, do your job. That shit ain't gonna work. If you got a coach that's like, we'll cultivate them and build them up, okay, you can do that. But you can't keep fitting square pegs into round holes. And right now, a lot of the misses that are going on in college football, particularly with high school kids, that's why it's happening. So always keep the main thing the main thing.
Well, yeah, I'm covering a junior day tomorrow, as it is. It's a long story.
Well, you could do the work for them if they'll answer your questions. I'll tell you this. If you sat there as a reporter, if I knew that you were going to ask every kid about money, do you know what I would? You know the first thing I would do the next morning?
Call me.
I would call you, or I would read your article if I didn't know you. I'd want to know. You do my work for me.
You know what they'll all say though to press is, oh yeah, I don't. You know, I hadn't talked about that. That it shows you how, and I think I'm going to do it. I mean, it's so weird still, even though we all know it's there now. It's out front. People still don't like talking about it. They'll do what are they telling you? It's about how you fit and all that stuff. And it's at some point, I feel like you have to go. Like, okay, for example, the Cubs are on the outlier teams with Alex Bregman. Astros third baseman, free agent. Does Alex Bregman fit the Cubs? Yeah, of course. Cubs need a third baseman. They just traded their third baseman in the Kyle Tucker deal. Does Alex Bregman make the Cubs a better team? Yeah, of course. It's like a 4-point-something WAR. It will allow them to move Matt Shaw to second base, maybe trade Nico Horner, et cetera, right? At what point do you think the Cubs and the Bregman's people probably go, okay, well, let's talk money? And that's where it falls apart. Why can't, and I'm talking to myself too. I'm not criticizing other writers. Why don't we say so? I mean, financially, you think this is going to be a good fit? You get the impression that you're a high enough priority? Are you a higher priority elsewhere? Or do you feel like you're a higher priority here? Have you talked deals? I mean, I'm curious why we don't do it, and I'm talking to myself right now. I don't know why we don't do it.
Because most people that are doing where I think you do, because you have a kind of a 1,000-foot view of things, and your common sense on it. We were talking a little bit about this before the show. I think most people, I feel like I would say most, I'm saying over 50%. Please correct me if I'm wrong, by the way. I would say most people that cover teams for Rivals or 247 or On 3, most people that cover teams are fans.
Agreed.
And when I say most, I'm saying more than 50%. Is that fair?
Oh, I think it's close.
But I'm just saying I'm being generous. I'm being conservative.
Yeah, it's very conservative.
Okay.
In fact, I mean, I'll say this. I mean, if I were running those operations, that's who I would probably look for.
Yeah,
in this
I'm not criticizing that part.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's what it is, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And so I think, in my opinion, a lot of the pieces that get written to now, you can. I said this. I've been saying this for years around here. Like, our beat writers aren't like what I would consider beat writers. It's not the Memphis Commercial Appeal anymore. It's not Jackson newspaper. It is the beat writers are the guys that run Rivals, the guys that run 247, the guys that run On 3, because they're there every day, right?
100%.
And so they don't, by nature, most of them, if they don't want to be controversial, because they're not really like, right, you've done this shit a long time. If you had to write a story, you would have no problem knowing the correct way to go get a source and figure out how to write a story.
Right.
A lot of the fans aren't journalists by nature. And so they don't want to ruffle any feathers, because they'll cut their access off. And once they cut their access off, they have nothing to write.
Yeah.
And so I think when it comes to what you're talking about with questions and things like that, they're afraid that it's going to ruffle feathers, and they kind of play the safe game. They're always on the fence, right? They're never on one side or never on the other, because they're afraid of who's going to be on the left side of the fence and who's going to be on the right side of the fence, instead of just telling the fucking truth and writing what it needs to be written. I think that is a big part of it. And if you look at, and it's no different, like when you look at all these numbers that are reported, I can tell you, I know, matter of fact, because I know there's one particular person that's on the internet that's always putting out numbers and things like that. Hell, I know who his sources are. I know who all three of his sources are. And because I talk to the same fucking people. Okay. But all that is agents, because they know he's going to tweet it. He's got a following. He's going to tweet it, and that's going to drive the price up for his client. So I get it, but it is what it is. All right. Enough of that shit. You know what I've been waiting to do, and I can't wait to do?
Spin the wheel? Oh, no.
Yeah, I want to do that. Let's talk some college hoops, man.
Oh, okay.
Let's talk some college hoops. All right, so
it's almost March.
I'm full tilt in it now with Criteria Club, but now especially with football. Full tilt. Well, let's start with the SEC. What I want to do is we'll talk about the SEC, kind of where we're at halfway point in the season, and then we'll look at the national picture and kind of the teams that are looking to make that you think can make runs in postseason and have like legit quality teams.
Okay.
I probably won't get much pushback from you on this one. If you had me to rank the conferences, just top to bottom, the best basketball right now, in the talking about Power 4 from the start, but SEC's 1, and I don't think it's particularly close. I think the Big 12 would be 2. I think the Big 10 would be 3, and then the ACC. The only reason the ACC is I just don't think they have as many. They got some, arguably one of the best teams, but they just don't have the depth from a standpoint. But let's talk SEC. All right, as we stand halfway, and I'll be interested to hear because you do this shit for a living. I'll be interested to get your take on this. For me in the SEC, I think there are 4 teams that have a legit chance to make legitimate runs and win the damn thing. Auburn and Alabama, that's no secret. Auburn, I think, is the most complete team in the SEC, offensively and defensively, particularly when Broom's rolling. Alabama is kind of like last year's team, play a little bit better defense, and they don't shoot the 3 as well as they did last year. So they can be a little bit streaky, but they are a threat to get you any night. My third team, and I would probably say really 2A, is the Florida Gators.
Yes.
I'm going to say 2A.
I would put Florida second.
Yeah. To me, it's kind of
the only team in the SEC that I would trust more on a night-to-night basis than Florida is Auburn.
Yes. Okay, so I'm like a 2A there with Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And then my fourth team is going to surprise you a little bit. The Kentucky Wildcats. And here's why. Just hear me out.
Oh,
Kentucky not as good defensively, but brother, when they show up and put the ball through the net, they can run your ass out of the building in a hurry.
Yes, they're very streaky.
They are
and
streaky.
If you catch them on the wrong night, you can get beat. But hey, look.
But if they get hot,
that first part you said's a real thing.
Oh, they can shoot your ass out in a heartbeat.
But they can't guard me.
They can't guard anybody.
No.
But neither could Alabama last year. And they can get shit. They were one of the worst defenses in the league. And then last year.
Sears was a better defender than anybody Kentucky's got.
They get hot.
Okay.
I mean, like, they couldn't fucking miss against Tennessee. And they couldn't miss against Florida. Like, they go through streaks where, brother,
they're a good team.
When they start freaking lighting it up, that's a scary damn
team. They're a good team.
Like, I would not want to play them.
Nets got them at 11. They're 15-5. They are 2-3 on the road, 2-1 on neutral sites, 7-5 in quad 1. No, they're solid. Solid team.
Yeah. So, and then I just don't like Tennessee. Tennessee is unbelievable on defense. They're a really good defensive team, obviously. But brother, they can't score, man. They can't score. And if they get they got matched up with Kentucky the other day. When they play teams that can score, they consistently can't do that. They're hard to watch on offense. They're hard to watch.
They are, but they're so good defensively.
They are that.
You know, like they're
legit.
They were able to get Auburn into a legitimate rock fight.
Well, yeah, that's what they have to do to win.
But they were able to do it.
And I don't think you can win a tournament doing that.
I don't either, in all likelihood. But my point is that they're one of the few teams in the country that have the capability. Because I think there are 3 teams that are clearly the best 3 teams in the country. And I think they might be one of the only 2, 3, 4 teams in the nation that would have the ability to get all of those 3 teams in a rock fight.
Because they defend them. Yeah, they defend so well. But I just can't see them winning a tournament.
Sure. No, they're a shooter short.
And then, the thing about the SEC that's kind of, for me, I don't know, it's kind of, once you take Auburn, Alabama, Florida, and Kentucky out, like A&M, can defend. A&M, same thing. Did they go stale on the offensive side of the ball? Missouri's really good offensively, not overly great defending. Ole Miss, which I wanted to get. Oh my God, like, dude,
they're just not talented enough,
brother. They'll defend your ass. They're fun to watch. Chris Beard, they ought to give Chris Beard a 160-year raise. He is getting everything he can get out of them, brother.
Yeah,
every bit of talent that's on that court, he's getting every drop out of it. They play hard as hell, but brother, it was hard to watch Brakefield last night. Even though he was making buckets, that shit was hard to watch, man. It was hard to watch.
Yeah, if you tell me there's 2 sleeper teams in the SEC to make deep runs, I go A&M and Mississippi State.
Now, Mississippi State, they can defend. And when Hubbard gets hot, brother, like he against Alabama, he had what? I know he had 38 at one point. I don't know what he ended up.
Shots, though.
But brother, he when he gets hot, he can score. He can be a Batman when he's hot.
I agree. Offensively, he can be a Batman.
Yeah.
But man, he takes a lot of shots in those games. It's not efficient.
They'll be a team that's going to be, if they get hot, will be everybody's favorite. Then we'll get beat by freaking Iona or some shit in the bracket. Tennessee, we talked about. Texas is very, Texas is very similar. I mean, they just a bunch of average dudes that play hard.
See, I disagree.
You don't like them?
Oh, I do like them.
Yeah, I think they got the one kid and everybody else is average as grits.
I thought last night was as clear a example of a coaching mismatch as you'll ever see. If you switch those 2 coaches.
Well, yeah, I'm with you on that. But I'm just saying, I'm just talking about what it is.
Trey Johnson would walk into Ole Miss right now and be so far and away the best player.
Yeah, they got one dude and everybody else is average as grits.
Tremont Mack's pretty good now. And the big guy's pretty good. He's better. 4 of Texas's kids would start at Ole Miss. I
don't disagree with that. I'm just talking about. But do you think Ole Miss is a great team?
No,
that's what I'm saying. They're average as grits.
But I wouldn't be shocked if Texas found a way to get hot.
I don't know if they have enough scorers, dude.
Yeah, I'm with Drew here. Johnson and Kaluma can play, and Tremont Mack can play. He got in foul trouble last night, and that hurt him. But he can go get you 20 on a given night. He's done it at 3 places now.
I think Arkansas, LSU, South Carolina are probably the only freebies, I guess we should say. I don't even call them freebies.
They're not freebies.
They're as freebie as they're going to get in this league, the last 3 teams.
I guess. Yeah.
I mean, and then, you can get Oklahoma on a particular night and get your ass thumped. Georgia, don't play Georgia at Georgia. They'll thump you. Texas is good at home. I mean, Texas plays good at home, obviously. Mississippi State's got one of the best home court advantages in the league. Then you got Tennessee. Vandy's a team that doesn't get talked about enough. Vandy's a team that doesn't get talked about enough. Yeah. They're solid, more than solid. And then that's kind of the league. So to me, it's like you got a top tier that I think are true contenders. Then I think you got a huge middle tier that any given night could beat the other team.
Yeah, I'm with Grind here. There's no freebie.
No, you're not a freebie, but I'm saying it's apparent that they're not in the middle tier.
Yeah. South Carolina,
anybody can beat anybody.
South Carolina's come close in so many games now, and they've got a first-round pick on their team. Arkansas's bad, but they're a couple of points away from having a couple of wins. I realize you can do this with a lot of people. And then
yes, basketball.
I kind of don't hate LSU, if I'm honest.
They just haven't won.
They're just athletic.
They're athletic, but they don't win.
Yeah.
That's the end of the day. That's what I'm talking about. No, they're not a freebie. You got to show up and play. It's just kind of like football. You got to show up and play, but if you do what you're supposed to do, you should win. But anyway, I think the SEC, like I said, is got those 4 teams, got a ton in the middle. And then at the end, at the bottom, it is what it is. All right. My teams, from a national standpoint, teams that I think have a legit chance here
to win the whole
damn thing. Outside the SEC.
This is a small list.
It is a small list.
It's Houston.
Houston is on my list. Duke is on my list.
It's Iowa State.
Iowa State is on my list.
I think it's Illinois.
I'm on the fence.
And then after that, there will be people who will say Kansas.
I don't know.
I'm not there. I don't think Purdue can win the whole thing.
Purdue's if Purdue, if you watch them play, I've watched a ton of them play so far this year. they can go to sleep on you on offense in a hurry too. Now, if they're shooting the lights out, you're done. But they play good defense,
Yeah.
and if they can score and like, it's really weird. They're either, when some games they look like they can't miss a shot. I mean, a lot of the game when they win, they're freaking on fire.
Do you want Purdue?
Purdue.
I mean, I'll give them
And then
credit
when they
now.
lose-
Purdue has played 11 quad one games.
But when they lose, they go to sleep
Yeah.
on offense. I mean, it's
The one thing they'll be able to do is they'll be battle tested. They've played 11 quad one games. They only played 3 quad 4 games.
yeah. They play.
I don't like Gonzaga.
I just don't think they got it on defense. And then offense, when they play up, when Gonzaga plays up, their athleticism loses its luster.
You could talk me into Texas Tech.
Mm.
You probably could talk me into Arizona. They've played 10 quad one games.
By the way, did you see the Arizona Iowa State game the other night?
I did not.
Iowa State was in the club. Arizona hits a 3/4 court buzzer tire to send it to overtime, and they won the game.
Oh,
A 3/4 court. Love hit a 3/4 court shot to send it to overtime.
so here are the other teams in the top 30 in net out of the league.
Okay,
Arizona, we talked about them. Marquette,
I'm out on them.
Michigan State, Maryland.
All right. I'm jury's out on Michigan State. Maryland is a damn good basketball team.
Well, here's the thing: Michigan State is 5-2 in quad one.
Yeah, Michigan State is coming. Like, I want to see them closer to tournament time.
Maryland's
talk me into it.
Maryland's 4-4 in quad one. Wisconsin's 5-5 in quad one.
Yeah, I'm out of Wisconsin.
Michigan's 3-2 in quad one.
Out on them.
St. Mary's is 2-0 in quad one. St. John's is 1-3 in quad
All
one.
right, St. John's-
They're fun to watch. They're not winning.
All right,
They're
St.
not a
John's
contender.
has been in the Criteria Club a bunch this year.
Mhm.
You talking about it giving you heartburn? I think they've won all 4 in the Criteria Club. I think, if my mind's right, they've been down double digits in the second half of all 4 games.
Okay.
They find a way to come back and win. They give you damn heartburn.
Louisville.
All right, here we go. I'm glad
Okay.
you brought them up. These dudes are coming on quick. Like, watch it. Like,
Yeah.
that's one that's way down the list, probably on net and shit.
25.
That's got my eye. They're playing. They're night and day. You see the improvement.
You want a sleeper?
That would be my sleeper.
I'll give you a sleeper. The Oregon Ducks.
All right.
Oregon.
I think they flatlined a little
Here are their
bit, though.
metrics.
I think they flatlined a
Here are
little
their
bit, though.
metrics. Oregon 4-1 on the road.
Yeah. No, they did it early. Great.
4-0 on neutral sites.
Yeah.
8-2 against quad one.
Early in the year, they were dominant. They've kind of flatlined a little bit.
Then the only other teams, non-SEC, that are in the top 30, it's Ohio State, Baylor, Clemson.
Ohio State, no. Baylor, Clemson, no. They no, not long run. Houston, is the one because they play. They're like a Houston's scary. If they continue, they're hot. I think they've won like 13 in a row. I know they haven't lost since November. I think it's 13 in a row they won, but they're shooting the lights out of it from the perimeter, and they're the number 1 defense in the country. So that is a great combination to win tournament games because defense travels. And I mean, look, that's why Ole Miss is playing the way that they're playing. They're their older team. They play defense, and they got to get into semi-rock fights, but they just don't have a scorer. Ole Miss doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, after that, I mean, if you're looking for like deep sleepers, I'm simply looking at quad one wins. Okay. Memphis 5-2 in quad one.
Again, early.
West Virginia's 4-5 in quad one.
They've had their moments.
Yeah, after that, you're all right. UCF 3-6.
A lot of those were early too, and they're getting one off of beating Texas A&M the first.
And then
game
you're getting completely out of quad one, where you're getting down to. I mean, I'm at 90 right now. So there's nobody. There's nobody from 90 to 100 that's got more than one quad. Well, I take that back. Minnesota at 100 is 3-7 in quad one.
All right, so how about this? I tell you, Neal, the basketball gods this time, they come down, they say, Neal, I'm giving you a wager.
Okay.
there is a non-SEC team that's going to win the NCAA tournament. And you got two choices. You get Houston, Duke, and Iowa State, or the field. Which one you taking?
Ooh. So I get Houston, Duke, Iowa State.
Or the field.
Or the field.
And I tell you, an SEC team doesn't win it.
Okay. I think I take Houston, Duke, Iowa State.
I do too. I would probably I'll go further than that. I think if you give me Houston and Duke.
So here's what you do. When you give me Houston, you give me Kelvin Sampson. So I get inarguably one of the best 5 tournament coaches in the country. If you give me Duke, I get Flag and a pretty support and a pretty look. There's more than just Flag to that team.
Yeah, but he don't need much more.
No.
That dude. If y'all haven't watched Cooper Flag play basketball, it's fun to watch if you like basketball.
And also, God dang, every comparison on Cooper Flag doesn't have to be a white guy.
Well, that's natural. That just it's gonna happen.
It's like the most natural comparison to Kevin Durant as a player was always Larry Bird. Always. But nobody did it. Tall, lanky, could stroke it. Was better on defense than he got credit. Could pass the basketball, high basketball IQ. I'm describing Kevin Durant and Larry Bird.
All right, so let me ask you this. I got another thought. Now let's go SEC. If I told you an SEC team wins the national championship, and I said you can have Auburn, Florida, or the field, who you taking?
Auburn, Florida. Because I get Auburn.
That's what I'm saying. So why not?
I get Auburn.
Which I've just talked myself into it. I think I'm going to go lay a futures bet on Houston, Duke, Auburn, and Florida and call it a freaking day.
Probably smart.
Because to me, that's the teams that are playing. They're the most balanced teams and don't. Because again, Tennessee can get matched up out of it. They can play defense, but they can't shoot. Kentucky can light it up. If Kentucky gets hot at the right time, they can make a run.
Yeah,
but they can't defend
at all.
Right? And then I think real talk. If Ole Miss gets the right matchups, I think Ole Miss can defense their way because defense travels and they're a mature team. But eventually, they're not going to be able to score.
Yeah, as the funnel tightens.
As the funnel tightens, shit gets out there.
Yeah.
Houston can score and they can defend.
Oh,
Duke can score and they can defend.
Well, yeah. Like what I was saying with Duke is you get a supporting cast, but you also have a guy that can go for 40-something. I mean, he's the deal.
Yeah, he's good.
I mean, he's so good.
I haven't even looked at the futures. I don't know what that is, but it's probably pretty good. All right, before we get to life advice, because we got to get life advice to get out of here. This came up. This is courtesy of Spider. In case y'all haven't noticed or haven't heard yet, do yourself a favor and Google Justin Tucker and the issues he got in today. It is alleged he has had 6 massage therapists have come out and been interviewed and are claiming we'll call that sexual harassment. It's a very graphic article. I will warn you there. Don't read it in front of your kids. It's a very graphic article. Has to do a lot of and there's a lot of I won't even repeat on here. And that's saying something. Very graphic article. All the alleged instances happened between 2012 and 2016. Mm-hmm. There was 6 different massage therapists. Allegedly was I don't know the right wording they called it, but basically dismissed as a client. They wouldn't let him come back.
Yes.
Obviously, his attorneys deny the allegations.
Of course.
Not a shock there. But, yeah, I encourage you to go check that out to entertain yourself for about however long it takes you to read it.
You know,
nothing surprises me anymore.
I know we're about to give some life advice out.
It's a good time. That's why we did it. That's why I waited for this time. So you can give life advice to a bunch of people today.
I mean, I have one basic rule of life advice.
You're going to make me throw up. Don't do it. You can do it. I'm just going to laugh.
Fellas, guys.
By the way, this is not sponsored. This is not sponsored by me. This is all Scoops right here. And I can't say it. Only Scoops can say it.
As a rule, and I'm sure there are exceptions, but as a rule, unless she explicitly asks to see it, she's not interested in seeing it. She might be interested in you, but she's not interested in seeing that. Just telling you. We all think they do. They don't. At all. Ask them. They'll tell you. You ever notice these stories are always the same way? Every time. When was the last time you saw 6 male masseuses filed lawsuits against some woman? Doesn't happen. But this happens all the time. There's a reason for that. It's because we think they want to see it, and they don't. They want to see your pocketbook. And they might even like get to know you as a human being, but they don't want to see that. Just being real.
That was life advice brought to you by Cole Walter State Farm.
It was. And I got more life advice coming.
Yeah.
But that
you
was
got another one sent to you. Just said that.
I got to you.
Make sure you read the top part of that.
I did. Life advice presented by Cole Walters of State Farm Insurance. Cole licensed in auto, home, life, health, business, and pet insurance for the whole state of Georgia. Contact Cole at 706-525-7850. You can also find him online at ColeWaltersInsurance.com. You know what Justin Tucker should have allegedly done? He should have gotten in touch with our friends at Easy. It's a vitamin-infused sparkling water.
Hey, do I need to?
Just keep an eye.
Hey, I got to get the samples. Okay. I didn't get one.
It's a guilt-free alcohol alternative, a natural way to relax and unwind. You didn't have to go to the massage parlor. Could have just gotten Easy. It's all natural, made with real fruit, no added sugar, low calorie. It's gluten-free. One 12-ounce can of Easy has 3 milligrams of vitamins. With Easy, it's easy to avoid the gummy scare and control your experience. So change the can, not the ritual. It's easy. I'll put the website in the YouTube stream. Go there. Visit the Easy Finder. Find Easy near you. It's Farm Bill compliant with vitamins derived from THC and CBD. Extracts. Easy for people 21 and older. Enjoy responsibly. Also, a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp. It can be tough to train your brain to stay in problem-solving mode when faced with a challenge in life, but when you learn how to find your own solutions, there's no better feeling. A therapist can help you become, a different kind of therapist, Justin. A therapist can help you become a better problem solver, making it easier to accomplish your goals, no matter how big or small. If you're thinking of giving therapy a try, BetterHelp's a great option. It's convenient, it's accessible, it's affordable, it's entirely online. Get matched with a therapist after filling out a brief survey. Switch therapist anytime. When you want to be a better problem solver, therapy can help get you there. Visit BetterHelp.com/MPW today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp.com/MPW.
Trav's in the chat. He says Justin Tucker should come to the Kia Meridian and get a Kia with massage seats, and then he'll let him spin the wheel.
See, and he'd have no problems.
No problems. All good.
He'd have no problems.
All good.
All right, so got a little life advice.
Got a couple of them, right?
Yep. Let's see. All right, my dream job. This is not my dream job. It's another person.
Yes.
Wants to know. He says, Neal, Tyler, my dream job is online right now, taking applications for the open position. I love my job right now. I don't want to leave my job I'm at now. I like my job I'm in now, so it's nothing against it. The position for my dream job is in a specific field where I need a specific degree. I'm already graduated. I don't want to go back to school. My friend who's over the application process for the open position at my dream job told me that he wasn't going to hire anyone to the position unless they went to school for the special degree. Today is the last day they're accepting applications, and I feel like I shouldn't even apply because of the conversation I had with the friend who's over the process of who's getting hired for the position. I've talked about it with my soon-to-be fiance. She is 100% supportive of me, but she wants me to go back to school and get this degree because it's my dream. Multiple pages here, so I'm sort of searching for it. My question is, what would you do if you were me? Thanks again for the advice on short notice. Sorry I had to be anonymous, so I had to leave out specifics. That's okay. All right.
Is that the one Cole sent us?
Yeah, I'm quick here.
Go ahead.
Life is short. You like the job you're doing now, but that's your dream job, and your fiance is supporting you to go back to school. You should go back to school, get the degree necessary to do the dream job. Be happy, man. Go to work doing something you enjoy. I mean, I don't know how long you'd have to go back to school or what all that would entail, but I'm guessing based on this that you're young, soon to be fiance, just graduated from school. I'm guessing that means you're in your 20s.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Now's the time.
Yeah, I'm going to echo Neal's sentiment on this. Is look, a career, especially when you're young, career is a long time. Do what you love. You'll never work a day in your life. And if it's your dream job, and this is what I'll say about it. I know the frustration, especially if the fiance is for it and she's supporting it. That's also important because you're about to start a life with her.
Yeah.
But any job, there's no dream job out there that's not hard to get and requires work to do.
Yes.
And so if it is your dream job, if it was available, everybody would go do it. So if you have the ability to go to school and do it, then go do it. If it's your dream job and it's what you want to do. I mean, it's the same thing in coaching, right? If you want to coach, everybody wants to, everybody turns on the TV on Saturday and they want to be a college coach. Oh, this is great. They don't understand the other shit that goes with it, but they think that that's what they do for a living. That they show up on Saturdays and work for 3 hours.
For the record, I don't.
Yeah, you don't.
I don't.
But a lot of people do.
Yeah.
But if you want to be a college coach, guess what you got to do? You got to go be a GA, and you got to be for a long time. There's a process, and
pay the dues.
You got to pay your dues, and
Yep.
right in this particular job that is your dream job, you got to go to school to do it. And if that's what you want to do,
Go to school.
then you got to go to school and do it. So for me,
100%.
that's easy. That's easy.
All right, next one. I'm gonna be careful with this one because it's a little too specific, and I'm gonna
Bounce around. I read it.
My father, I'm leaving out the age, worked at his last job for 37 years. He worked his way up from the bottom to the top. I'm going to leave the titles out. He made the top in 2021 of the company he worked for 37 years. He was tired of people being, I need my readers. I'm sorry, I'm getting old.
That happens. Just call them blue light glasses.
He was tired of people being lazy since COVID started, people working from home, slacking off, etc. He was recently let go for reasons that had nothing to do with his work performance. How do I comfort him? How should I be there for him? Again, I'm 30 some odd years younger than him. He's made a hell of a life for him and my mother. He's provided for my sister and myself, but he was not ready for retirement, and this change was 100% unexpected. How should I be there? How should I comfort him? How can I show him I love him when I tell him I'm sorry for the change and he tells me, son, I'm happy? See if there's anything else I need to put in here. Love him more than anything, but have no idea how to comfort him. That's it. All the other stuff is too detailed.
Yeah, I read it. So for me, and it's not the same thing, but there's nothing that you can do to really make it better. And that's what they want to do. The one thing I would, if he finds himself, I would let him be him. Okay. Support him, all that stuff. If you find him in a rut, find something to keep him busy.
Yeah.
Go spend time with them to keep them busy and get their mind off of the other situation. Because I saw the age and all that stuff. If he comes into a rut, I think you'll be surprised. I think he sounds like a guy that's fought through it. I mean, that long of a career, has been through the ups and downs, started at the bottom. He gets it. But if you find your father in a rut, just be there and support him. But there's nothing you can do that's going to make it better. And I think a lot of times people think that they're going to be able to say something or do something that's going to make all that go away. There's nothing you're going to be able to do. Okay. Like as a fired football coach, that sucks. It sucks, especially when you didn't do shit wrong.
Yeah.
When that's the thing about coaching is like it sucks as a friend when your friends lose jobs and they didn't do anything wrong. They were just collateral damage, basically.
Yeah.
But there's nothing time heals everything. They will figure out what's next. If he's that kind of person, which I read the whole thing, he's that kind of person that started from the ground up. If he really wants to work and do something again, he'll do it. If he doesn't, he doesn't.
He'll probably handle it.
He'll handle it. But the best thing is to be supportive. There's nothing going to, nothing you're going to say or do that's going to fix that problem. You got to kind of let them work the way through it. Like when there's nothing worse, like I know me. It's like, and the people that really know me, like when we got fired, like I'm going to be fine. I'm pissed right now.
Yeah.
I'm pissed. I'll be okay. I'll figure it out. But what I didn't want is like, I didn't want the pity.
Oh yeah. 100%.
Okay. What I didn't want is I didn't want pity.
Right.
And so you got to be really careful when you go to be supportive and you do that thing that you're not showing pity, because that fucking makes it worse.
Yeah.
Like I don't need your fucking, I'll be fine. Ross Bjork, where you at? Can I get a solo shot?
Yeah.
I will be fine. Ross Bjork. Love you. I will be fine. Love you, Ross Bjork. Ross is my favorite person besides Jesus and my family.
Yeah.
He's right there, dog.
I get it.
It's like Jesus, my family, and then Ross is right there, dude.
That close.
I mean, he's right there.
Yeah. I get it.
Like he's ahead of my dog. He kicks his Snoop's. He's ahead of my dog. I love Ross more than I love my dog.
I love Gus and Rizzo more than I like Ross.
But if you were me, you wouldn't.
I mean, maybe not, but I'm not. You know, I'm just being honest. If I'm ranking where I put Ross Bjork, it's somewhere below Gus and Rizzo.
I love him. But what you don't want to do, you got to be very careful. There's a fine line between supporting them and showing pity, and you don't want to show pity because that's
good advice.
Like I didn't want to hear that shit.
Yeah, no, I think the best thing you can be for family is there.
There you go. There, that's
just there. You know, I mean, that's like, I mean, as a dad, like that's the best thing I can be for my kids, right? It's just there. I can't fix everything. I can't make every decision. I can't do the work. I can't fix. You know, say they have a breakup. You know, something happens in life. Life brings some disappointment sometimes. I can't make the pain go away. I can be there.
Yeah. You can be there.
You know, something happens. I can't necessarily fix it, but I can be there.
Yeah.
I think that's
that's
the extent of it.
You know, and the other thing is, I saw the age stuff. Like just be present.
Yeah.
And be present. That's probably the most thing. Just be present and go play golf. Like don't like if go play golf with somebody, go hang out, but don't, that's just how guys are.
Or have some Rain Total Body Fuel. I mean, just go take him a Rain, sit down and say, hey, Dad, listen, you say you're okay. If you're okay,
here's a tropical.
I can make it even better.
You get a tropical, dude?
Oh, he'll be good.
You know, if you go get him a rainstorm tropical,
yeah,
he'll be thinking about the beach.
Heartbeat. And
think of the pineapple, the grapefruit.
And he'll do it with natural caffeine, BCAAs, electrolytes, and there won't be no sugar, none at all. So it's going to help him push his limits, achieve his goals. Again, already achieved them once. Set more, achieve more. Check it out on Instagram at Rain Body Fuel to learn more.
Scoops. And when you go and take your dad golf, when he goes and takes his dad golf, before he goes,
we should go get a Garmin or something.
He needs to go by and see our good friend Brandon at PTG Outdoors.
Absolutely.
Did you know?
Because Brandon will cheer you up.
Did you know? Yeah, Brandon will also allow you to discover Garmin. He will show you how to discover Garmin.
Can you imagine?
From cycling to running watches to tax indoor cycling, Garmin brings the innovation to your fitness journey. Track health metrics, explore maps, and enjoy GPS precision for cycling, golf, and outdoor adventures. Dive deeper with swim tracking, train smarter with dog tracking tools, and monitor performance on land and water. Explore Garmin's range, including smartwatches, scales, and advanced off-road instruments available now. Where? At ptgoutdoors.com. So you don't even have to.
I feel better already.
You can actually go to PTG Outdoors right now and get him a Garmin watch. So it has a rangefinder. He can go play golf.
Imagine.
That's what I'd do.
That's great. Incredible idea.
And you know what, though? And if that doesn't work, well,
if he goes to play golf, he's going to need a vehicle to get there.
He's going to need somewhere to put his clubs.
Unless he lives on a golf course,
he's probably going to need something like a Telluride.
That would help.
or Sorrento
Oh, that'd be great.
or K5, somewhere to put his golf clubs.
Yeah, because you're going to have to drive to the course.
And you're gonna have to use your Garmin inside of a Kia from Kia of Meridian.
Incredible.
It's a new year. You can tell him to make a resolution that he can keep.
Yeah.
He can drive away in a brand new Kia from Kia of Meridian right now. Join us right now in 2025. Kick off the new year with a resolution, by God, that you can keep.
Absolutely.
You can get as low as 0% on select models and up to $7,500 off rebates on select vehicles. It's a perfect time.
That is magical.
To drive a brand new Kia and save big. Come see us today at Kia of Meridian. Call our guy Trav at 601-483-6444. And you know what?
Don't tell me. Don't tell me there's more.
If he goes and he takes that test drive and that Telluride and he goes, man, my clubs are going to fit perfect right there in that Telluride.
There's more.
And he's still got that frown. Do you know what you can do to get that frown turned upside down?
You know.
You can spin the wheel.
Unbelievable.
And you can win prizes like a PS5, an Xbox, or a TV, and more. So call our friends at Kia Meridian. Area code 601-483-6444.
Wow. We just solve problems.
That's what we do.
We just solve problems.
Buy life advice from Cole Walters at State Farm. Licensed anywhere in the state of Georgia.
Yeah.
You got pet insurance you need?
Get it there.
Snoop needs pet insurance because I love Ross Bjork. I love Snoop. So I might have to call Cole and just see if hey, Cole, can you get licensed just in the Oxford area so I can get pet insurance for Snoop because I love Ross Bjork more than I love my dog. I do.
On that note, we'll be back with you on Monday. It'll be Super Bowl week. Super Bowl week. Oh, yes, the Philadelphia Eagles and the same old team from the AFC in the big game. Woo! Yeah, we'll be back to start talking about it on Monday here on McCready and Siskey, powered by Rain Total Body Fuel. For Tyler, I'm Neal. Peace out.